So good morning, students. Okay, so in the last class we have discussed regarding the uh, transfer function. Okay, so how to represent transfer function of open loop system, and how to represent the transfer function is how to analyze a system in terms of transfer function of a closed loop system in the form of a block diagram. So this is a block diagram. Now, as we have discussed that every input, that means every block, has a transfer function, and it is equal to the Laplace of the output signal divided by the Laplace of the input signal. Okay. Now, depending upon this, this was discussed. Now we have the forward path transfer function. Now, what is forward path transfer function? Basically, the each block which is having a transfer function, it is called the forward path transfer function. Okay. If it is in the if the path is from means input to the output in the forward path. So forward path transfer function is the ratio of the controlled output and the actuating error signal. Okay, that is, it is a transfer function representing the flow of signal in the forward direction. So in this particular case, if you observe over here, so this transfer function GS is the forward path transfer function. Okay, because it is in the forward path, and feedback path is the transfer function HS. So HS is the feedback path transfer function. So now what is the transfer function of this particular path? GS. Who can say what will be the transfer function of GS? Only GS. As per the discussion, as I explained it to you yesterday, so I hope you can be able to say what will be GS in terms of these signals: ES, BS, RS, CS. Yes, Nikhil.
ES minus BS, sir.
No. ES minus BS. No. See, RS minus BS is giving you ES. RS minus BS is giving you ES. Okay, that is a signal, the error signal, and which is entering this particular block, which is the forward path transfer function, and it is GS. So the input signal of GS is ES and output signal is CS. So what will be the transfer function? What will be the value of GS then? Means in terms of transfer function, GS is a transfer function. So what is the value of GS? GS equals to
Sir, CS by RS.
CS is correct, but not RS, because the exact input which is entering the GS is ES. Okay, so it will be, because CS by RS is the transfer function of the entire. Okay, but this particular block, it has only the
CS
input
by
of ES.
ES, sir.
CS by ES will be the transfer function of this particular forward path transfer function. Okay, that is GS. Okay, so GS is equals to CS by ES. So forward path transfer function GS may be made up not only of elements in cascade along the forward path, but also contain internal or minor feedback loops within the forward path. So basically, if this particular forward path is broken into different other means blocks, suppose that means more than one block is there. That suppose G1S, G2S, G3S, G4S. Okay, so then the entire block will be considered as a forward path transfer function. What I'm saying is that if I represent over here that you have a block, okay, you have a signal like this. Okay, this is summation point, and this is RS, this is ES. Okay, and here you have one block like this. Suppose 3 blocks are there, and this is the signal. Okay, and this is CS, and there is a feedback which is having the feedback, okay, HS. So suppose this is G1S. So there are 3 blocks, controller and regulator, suppose, and there is a plant of G3S. So the forward path transfer function will not be only G1, it will be the entire forward path. This thing, this is G, this will be GS. So GS is equals to Laplace transform of the output signal by the Laplace transform of the input signal, where GS is equals to G1S multiplied by G2S multiplied by G3S. That means if more than one block is there in series, the total will be the multiplication of all the 3. Okay, so it is multiplication of all the 3. So in this case, we have only one particular block. We have only one particular block. So our forward path transfer function will be CS by ES equals to GS. Okay. Yes, Vishwanath, do you want to say something?
No.
Okay. Okay, now feedback path transfer function. So it is the ratio of, you can say, feedback path transfer function means this transfer function, this one. So similarly, as we have seen for this forward path, so this is the feedback path transfer function, HS. So this block has a transfer function of HS. So what is the input signal? Input signal is CS, because CS is entering the feedback path transfer function, and BS is the output signal. So the transfer function of HS will be HS equals to BS by CS, because BS is output, CS is input. Okay, BS by CS. So it is BS by CS equals to HS. Okay, so BS by CS is equals to HS. 1 second, for simplicity I am just dragging this one over here. Okay. Okay, I think it is clear. So now you have understood that every block has a transfer function, and it is equals to the Laplace transform of the output signal by input signal. So for GS it is CS by ES, and for HS it is BS by CS. And the
Sir.
Yes.
Sir, please show the previous screen, sir. That whiteboard screen, sir, which we have written, sir.
Okay.
The formula, sir.
This one.
Yes. Okay, sir. Okay.
Okay.
Got it, sir.
So this is the total feedback. Sorry, forward path. Okay. And if there are multiple blocks, then you can multiply them.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Now feedback we have understood. So forward path and feedback path. Now open loop transfer function. So open loop transfer function means if a system is not having a feedback path. So it is defined as the ratio of the output of the feedback to the actuating signal. Okay. So it is equals to GS into HS. Why? Because suppose if I represent it this way, if I this particular figure, if I copy it over here, okay. Now I omit this particular line. and I delete this particular line, as if the system is having two blocks, GS and HS. Okay, open loop transfer function means you will ask that HS part will not be there, that means this part will not be there. Okay, so basically this part is not there, so it is the open loop transfer function. So input is RS, output is CS. Okay, but suppose if I want to keep HS but not as a feedback but as a second, you can say second block. So that means the feedback is not connected to the summation point. So that means this will not be treated as a feedback. It will not be treated as a feedback. So what you are doing, suppose you are using a system, suppose this is an electrical machine which is running and you are measuring a current and voltage. So suppose this measurement element is ammeter and voltmeter. This is ammeter and voltmeter. Okay, ammeter and voltmeter is there, which is the measurement unit, but it is not a feedback because you are just measuring the amount of current and voltage. Suppose you are making a graph and are measuring the amount of current and voltage. Suppose 3 amps and 200 volt. Suppose you are just measuring. You are taking a table. Okay, you are writing a table. Okay, like this. Suppose, and so on. But that measurement is not going inside the machine as a feedback. So it is not a control system. It is not basically a closed loop control system. It is an open loop control system. So you are just using a variac, you are increasing the voltage and you are getting the current. But you are not programmed the machine in such a way that the output will change as per the error signal. So there is no concept of error signal. So in that case, this summation point will also be not there. So obviously the summation point will also be not there and this error signal will also be not there. So only input RS and output BS. Okay. So that means CS is also not output because it is not a controlled output. So basically our figure is same, but if I say that I don't want this particular feedback signal to enter the summation point and create error signal. I just want to open this. If I open this, the system will look like this. In this case, this is an open loop system. Since the feedback is not connected to the summation point, so it is not at all a feedback anymore. Okay. So this CS is also not there because we are not using the CS. Now the output is BS. Now BS is the output because we are using a variac. We are giving the voltage supply and we are getting the current and we are measuring the voltage and current in using the voltmeter ammeter in the measurement element. So this is the input and this is the output. So the output by input in Laplace transform of output signal by input signal, we give you the transfer function. Okay, so here BS by RS is equals to the transfer function of the open loop transfer function, total system, open loop system. Okay, because previously what we have seen in this slide, you can see this is just the forward. This GS was representing the forward part transfer function, this one. Okay, and HS was representing the transfer function of the feedback. Okay, so I can also write here CS. Okay, because here in this case, in our open loop transfer function, what is happening, the GS will become CS by RS. Okay, now in this case both are forward path. Why? Because if there is no feedback, so both the blocks represent a forward path because there is only a single path. So this output may look like as if the signal is coming on the traveling in the right hand side and then again coming in the left hand side. No, it doesn't mean, because we are just representing in this way. Basically they both are in series. So since the feedback is not connected to the summation point, this signal is not at all a feedback. So it is an open loop transfer function, and in open loop transfer function the entire blocks will be forward path. So it is a forward path transfer function. Now GS is equals to CS by RS and HS is equals to how much? HS is equals to BS by CS. Now the overall transfer function, this one, this is called the BS by RS is overall transfer. How it is coming, I will just explain to you over here. That means the overall transfer function is GS into HS. This is the open loop transfer function. So that means, as I have told you in the earlier slide, that if the one or more blocks are in series, so the transfer function will be multiplied. So the overall transfer function of the open loop transfer function, okay, that will be GS into HS because they are in series, and GS is equals to CS by RS, CS by RS, CS by RS, and HS is equals to BS by CS, BS by CS. So that is equals to, this will get cancelled, so BS by RS. So you don't have to write this because all of you can just see by your own eye, and you can obviously come to conclusion that obviously, yes sir, BS by RS will be the transfer function of the open loop control system, because this is input signal, this is output signal. But individually, the input of CS is GS is RS and output is CS, and this output CS is entering HS and output is BS. That is why it is represented in this way. So this is the actual derivation, how it is coming. Okay. Okay, so got it. So that is why it is written over here. You can see the equation. So the open loop transfer function where the feedback is not there, so the output is BS. Okay, so output is BS. Okay, so over here it is written BS by ES because in this case they have considered the summation point. Okay, the summation point is there, but it is not, output is not connected to the summation point. So ES is over here. So you can also write in this way, BS by ES, because same thing. Then what will happen? GS will become CS by ES. Whatever input it is, this GS is means whatever signal is entering GS, that will be the input signal. Okay, so that is what is written as BS by ES. So it is equals to GS into HS. Okay, got it. Got it, Nikhil? And others also?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Others are not responding. Akhilesh,
Yes, sir.
Anisha, okay, Ashish, all are there. Okay, so moving forward, now we will come to the closed loop transfer function. That means this entire system, this is the total system where feedback is there. So it will be the closed loop transfer function. So this is called the closed loop system. Open loop system is there's a feedback, and this is the closed loop system where feedback is there. So what will be transfer function of the closed loop system? So obviously it will be CS by RS, isn't it? CS by RS will be the transfer function of the closed loop system. Why? Because the CS is the output, controlled output, and the reference input is RS. Now what will be equals to CS by RS in terms of GH? Because CS by RS is the ratio of the signals, that will be equals to some transfer function, isn't it? In terms of GS and HS. Because in open loop system it was very simple. It was just GS and HS, open loop system. But in closed loop system you have to calculate and derive. So an important characteristic of any feedback control system is the overall transfer function or the closed loop transfer function, which is the ratio of the controlled variable CS to the reference input RS. The closed loop transfer function is also sometimes referred to as the control ratio. Okay. So now the equations describing this is shown in this figure, that means 3.18. Okay, this figure. So in terms of control variables, see we can write these three equations. Number one, CS is equals to GS into ES. Why? Because Yes, because GS is equals to CS by ES. GS is equals to CS by ES, which we have already seen. So GS is equals to ES is equals to CS into GS, isn't it? G is equals to, I'm just writing in form of G. So G is equals to CS by ES, isn't it? CS by ES is G. Okay, so we can write C as equals to G into E. Then B is equals to H into C, HS into CS, because this particular case. So HS equals to BS by CS. So B is equals to C into H. Okay, B is equal to C into H. And E we all know, RS minus BS. B is equals to RS, because E is equals to RS minus BS. Okay, so these three equations we have with us. Now, thus CS, if you see over here, we will replace this value in this case, in this equation. Okay, we will replace it. If you replace it, then it will become CS equals to GS into RS minus BS. RS minus BS. Now, once again, this BS, this equation we will put over here. So step by step, using 3.11 equation, in 3.11 equation, we will write the equation. In that case, the value of ES will be replaced using 3.13 equation. So it is GS into RS minus BS. And in BS, we will replace the value of BS from the equation number 3.12. So it is GS into RS minus HSCS. So BS is HSCS, so RS minus HSCS. Okay. Now, in this case, you can see in the left hand side we have CS, in the right hand side we have GS into RS minus HSCS. So we will take CS common. We will take CS common. Okay, because if I write in this way, C is equals to G R minus HC, this part, this equals to this. Okay, so I can, so in this case, okay, so one second. So first of all, GS is multiplied. GS is multiplied inside this particular equation. Okay, this equation. So what we are getting, the next step will be, this is actually written in this way. So the next step will be, if I continue from here, so C is equals to G into R minus HC. So C is equals to GR plus GHC. Oh, sorry, minus GHC. Minus GHC. Okay. Now, taking this part on the left hand side, C plus GHC equals to GR. Then taking C common, 1 plus GH equals to GR. Got it? So this step is represented over here. Then C and R we have on the two sides. In LHS we have C and RHS we have R. Now we all know the closed loop transfer function, it will be CS by RS, Laplace transform of the output signal by the input signal. Okay, got it? Understood or not? So CS by RS will give us, so what we will do, we will send RS on the left hand side and this part on the right hand side. So it becomes CS by RS equals to GS by 1 plus GSHS. So this equation is the main equation for a closed loop transfer function. Okay, where the summation point is such that the error signal is equals to RS minus BS. Now it is not always compulsory, because this feedback may get added also. It may happen that ES equals to RS plus BS. That also can happen. But for this case, it is RS minus BS. Okay. So have you understood this derivation? If you have any question, you can ask. Any questions from your end?
Sir, the last step, sir.
Last step.
Yes, sir. C into 1 plus GH equals to GR.
GR.
Sir, after that
you can see this equation. If you go back to this equation, so what is happening? C means CS. I'm just omitting CS. Okay, S domain. So CS bracket 1 plus GSHS equals to G into GS into R. So this is this equation. Okay, this is this equation. So what we will do? We will send, the next step will be C by R equals to G by 1 plus GH. That means what is happening actually. See, R is the input signal. So our target will be we have to write in this form, C by R, output by input. So we have C over here, R over here. So what we will do, we will just send R on the left hand side. Okay, and this thing on the right hand side. So what we are getting? We are getting C by R equals to G by 1 plus GH. So that means CS by RS equals to GS by 1 plus GSHS. Now got it?
Yes, sir. Got it, sir.
Okay. So first, the way you have to proceed is that you have to take these three equations first. That means first one is the forward path transfer function GS, and you will write in the form of CS. Then the feedback path transfer function HS, which is BS by CS. You will write the equation in terms of BS. The error signal ES is equals to RS minus BS. You have these three equations. Then you will start with the first equation, CS equals to GS into ES. Then you will keep on replacing the value. You replace the value of ES with RS minus BS, and when you will get BS, you will replace the value of BS into HS, because our target will be, you have to write the equation in such a way that our equation should have CS and RS and HS, GS, HS. Okay, GS, HS, CS, RS. In this form we have to write. Got it? So we will omit the other signals. That means error signal E, we will omit that. How to omit that? By replacing with some other value. And the feedback signal BS also we have to omit. Okay, by replacing the other value. Okay. So the denominator, you can see the denominator is 1 plus GSHS of the closed loop transfer function. Okay. When made equals to 0, the equation is called the characteristic equation of the system. So if you write, so this characteristic equation you will be this equation you will encounter in the later on when you will be studying the stability analysis. So you will see that this transfer function of the closed loop system over here, the denominator is a very significant part, plays a significant part in the stability of a system. Okay. So that is why that equation is called characteristic equation. If you put that equals to 0. So 1 plus GS equals to 0 is called the characteristic equation. Now this equation, as will be seen in the following chapters, describes almost all important characteristic properties of the control system in terms of dynamic, steady state accuracy and stability of the system. So as I told you, during the steady state analysis and the stability analysis, this characteristic equation is will play a very significant role. Now you see, if a system, okay, so this equation is called the characteristic equation. So 1 plus GSHS equals to 0 is called the characteristic equation. So this is not present in this particular figure in the block diagram. It is just an an addition. So we will take this closed loop transfer function, we will take the denominator and we will put it 0, and you will consider this as the characteristic equation, and you will keep this for future use. Okay, now for simplified systems, for many simple systems, okay, which is shown in this figure, you can see this is actually the same figure which we have seen previously. This one, same thing. Okay, GS and HS is there, forward path transfer function is GS and feedback is HS, but HS is equals to 1. That means if the feedback is 1, then it is called the unity feedback system. I have also told you this in the previous class. So if a system is having unity feedback, so we generally use a straight line to represent it. So we don't use this way, just use a straight line like this, just a straight line. That means that HS is 1. You don't have to write 1 also like this, you don't have to write that. Even if you draw a straight line, that is enough to explain that this particular feedback is having a magnitude of 1. So it is a unity feedback system. Okay, so in this case, yes, ES is equals to RS minus CS. So RS minus CS, so it will not be equals to BS. BS is not there. Why? Because BS will be only available if there is HS which is not equals to 1, not a unity feedback. So HS will be equals to BS by CS, but if HS is 1, so BS by CS is 1, that means BS is equals to CS. So CS is actually the feedback. The output which is going, the same thing will be taken as a feedback. So you don't have to convert that feedback into some equivalent or some equivalent signal. That means if temperature is the output, then we use some potentiometer type of thing which convert that or you can say thermoelectric type of thing, where that particular temperature is sensed and it is converted into a equivalent voltage signal and then taken as a feedback. Then there will be HS. But if you are using electrical circuit where your output is voltage and you want to take their voltage as a reference for feedback, then you will directly take their voltage. You don't have to convert that voltage into some equivalent other voltage, because the output is itself a feedback. So in that case, the HS will be 1, feedback will be 1. Okay, so obviously if the output is voltage and your feedback is also voltage, so the output signal will you will connect it over here. You don't have to use a converter. So the feedback transfer function will be 1. So it will call unity feedback. Unity feedback doesn't mean that feedback is 1. No, feedback transfer function is 1, but feedback will be equals to the output signal. That means whatever signal you are taking from the output, it will be multiplied with 1 and then it will be connected to the summation. Okay, so that is unity feedback. So as for the equation of the closed loop transfer function CS by RS, which was equals to GS by 1 plus GS HS. So if HS is 1, so HS will not be there. So it will be only GS by 1 plus GS. Understood this part? Okay, understood, Nikhil?
Yes.
Okay, the others may also respond, because if you are able to understand, then it's
Yes, sir.
okay, fine.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So now this particular figure, you can see this is an exception where if you concentrate on this particular summation point, as I have just mentioned before this earlier slide, that there may be a system where the feedback error signal is obtained by adding these two. That means in this case ES is equals to RS plus BS. That means summation point we are actually getting a plus sign, that it is added. So feedback is added, not subtracted from the input. Previously what we have seen, error signal was RS minus BS. So there may be a system where error signal is RS plus BS. So in that case, how to obtain the closed loop transfer function? The same thing, the concept will be same, the approach will be same. We will write three equations: CS equals to GS ES, as we have done earlier, BS equals to HS CS, and ES will be equals to RS plus BS. So this thing we have to mention over here. Okay. Now we will proceed as we have done in the previous case, and after that, because you see these steps are same, starting from this step 3.18, 3.19, 3.2 is just sign will be changed, and this step and the following step all will be same. And if you perform this derivation, if you do this derivation, now we will obtain the result that only one single change is there, that in the previous case where the error was subtracted, there the transfer function was of the closed system was gs by 1 plus gshs. But in this case, when error is added, then the transfer function is gs by 1 minus gshs. That means if the summation point the feedback is subtracted, then the denominator will be plus. That means feedback is minus, denominator is plus, and over here feedback is plus, denominator is minus. Okay. So this is the transfer function of this closed loop system where the feedback is added with the input to get the error signal. Okay. Now pole zero mapping. Now the transfer function of the linear control system can be explained in the form of a quotient of two polynomials in the following form. Now before going to this, let me explain this way, that your any transfer function gs, it is having a value in the form of s domain. So it will be like this, say s square plus 3s plus 2, like that. Okay, so something like that. So a system may appear like this: gs equals to that means the closed loop transfer function, that means cs by rs okay, that is gs by 1 plus gshs okay. So this can be in this form, suppose x to the power cube plus or 2x to the power cube plus 3x square plus 4s plus 5. Denominator may be like this. So denominator, generally the exponent is greater compared to the numerator. Why? Because gs and hs are getting multiplied. Okay, so it is obviously generally it is greater, and it is better that the denominator value is, the power is more. Okay, so it can be like this. Okay, 2x square plus 3, it can be like this. It can be a greater one. Over here I am just not mentioning the other exponents. Okay, I am just omitting those, but you will get a full equation like this. So the closed loop transfer function gs by 1 plus gshs is generally in the form of this polynomial equation. Okay, so we will get this in this way, that cs by rs, okay, that is gs hs. In this case hs is considered to be just gs is written over here. Okay, gs is written as if it is a open loop transfer function. Okay, so you don't have to consider it over here. You just see this equation, you see this polynomial form where it is written, the maximum factor is written over here, the maximum power exponent is written over here, m, and dot 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 dot. So it is starting from 0, h to the power 0, h to the power 1, h to the power 2, dot dot dot, h to the power m. This is the maximum power. The denominator is h to the power 0, and starting from h to the power 0, then h to the power 1, h to the power 2, then h to the power n. So both numerator and denominator polynomial can be factored into m and n terms respectively. With such a factorization, the expression 3.22 now can be expressed as, now if you have an equation where you have the maximum exponent of 3, that means s has 3 solutions, isn't it? In mathematics you have done that if x squared equation is there, so obviously you will get 2 values of x. If x cube is there, you will get 3 values of x. Here also if x cube is there, so you will get 3 solutions of s. If Sn is there, so obviously you will get n solutions of x, isn't it? So this equation can be modified and written is like this, that s minus a1 or a1, okay, S minus A2, S minus A3. What does it mean? It means that these are the solutions. These are the solutions. Okay. So these S are the solutions. Okay. And so A1, A2, A3 are the solutions. That means if you solve this particular numerator part, you will get three values of S. Suppose first value is A1, then A2, then A3. Okay. And denominator 7 values. So you will get say B1, B2, dot 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 B7. So denominator will be written like this, S minus B1. So it's just a middle term break and just writing in this form. Okay. And B7. Okay. So that is what it is written over here. In our case, the numerator is having maximum power of m and denominator is having maximum power of n. So the equation will be like this: S minus some value, suppose S minus Z1, S minus Z2, dot 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 S minus Zm up to m, and over here it is S minus P1, S minus P2, dot 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 S minus Pn, and k is written over here because if you solve this equation, obviously you will take something in common. You will have to multiply or divide something. Okay, that means you have to cancel the numerator and denominator with some factor. Suppose it is 3x cube plus 1, so you will take 3 common, so it will become x cube plus 1 by 3. So in this way there will be some constant term outside always. Okay, this constant term is called the gain factor or the scale factor. Generally it is called the gain. This has a term, it is called the gain. This is called the gain, and the solutions of the numerator are called the zeros, and solution of the denominators are called the poles. So this thing you have to just keep in mind, that in a transfer function, whether it is a forward part transfer function, it is a reverse feedback part transfer function, if it is a open loop transfer function, it is a closed loop transfer function, whatever, whenever you are dividing the signals, you are getting a transfer function, and it will be some polynomial equation which will have some numerator and denominator. Okay, generally the denominator exponent is more compared to the numerator exponent, and the number of solutions of the S values in the numerator are called zeros, and the solutions of the S values in the denominator are called the poles. Got it? Okay, so I think I have to end this class over here. So I will continue this topic because it is quite interesting now. Okay, because now the calculation part will start. So I will continue this in the next class. Okay. Okay, so then thank you, students. So I'm just taking this snapshot of the attendance. Okay, so thank you. You may leave now.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.